Hello and welcome to my channel. I thought we'd continue on with my steady rest modifications. The last video, I got a dimension on how much I have to take off of here, or the thickness this needs to be to put this in the proper place. We talked about putting a keyway in both sides. We talked about leaving a boss up here, a key right in here, and just putting a groove in here. What I thought I'd do is start out with putting this back in the mill and just cleaning up both sides of this to a nice number, like an even number. And then going in the mill and making a groove right down the middle so this fits in there. That way, this is still the original thickness. It's nice and strong, and then I could bolt it on. But first of all, we need to jump in the mill and just clean this up. Let's get over to the mill. I'm going to put it in the same way I did when I cut this flat and these ends. It'll be sitting up against these bosses and sitting flat on this surface here. I already cleaned the mill, the vise I should say. I put a 5 flute, 1/2 inch solid carbide end mill in here. I need to come down about a little over 300 thousandths. I'll probably just go down to about 3/8, 400 thousandths, something like that. I've got the spindle going about 1,000 RPMs. I'm just going to touch and go until it cleans off. Go to the other side and just keep going till it cleans up. Measure it and then take it to a nice even number. Let's do that. Okay, let's clean that up and get a measurement. 875, 85, 885, and a couple of tenths. All right, we're gonna move it in 10 thousandths and just take another cut. That should be 875, which is 7/8 of an inch. $874.5. Same thing, 874.5. Okay, now what I need to do is go get the mating part and put a slot down it. 875. Let's do that. We need to make a measurement here. 717. 915. And this is 875. 915 minus 875. One inch 40 divided by 2 is 520. You know, before we go in the mill, what I want to do so I don't get carried away when I'm roughing out that slot is I want to lay it out. I want to put some layout fluid on here and just scribe some marks on here. I think that's dry enough. I'm just going to make a mark 520 thousandths high, turn the part over and do it again. Set on 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20. Lock her down. Turn it over. And if I did my math right, that should be 7/8 of an inch. Okay, now let's get over to the mill. I cleaned up the vise, put some parallels in there. Just need to tap that down. They don't move. All right. That's touched. It's probably just a couple of thousandths. I'm going to put 2 thousandths on this dial, lock it in. Of course, for my final measurement, I will be measuring the thickness. We're looking for 411 thousandths thick. 520 and 520. Okay, let's do this. That was 200. I'm going down like 90,000 so I can get a measurement. 290. What I'm going to do now is just creep up on those lines. All right, let's get a measurement or two. Four 25, 35, 43, 443. It needs to come down 32 thousandths, and that's what I'm going to. I'm going to go right down the middle, 32 thousandths. Quick dimension here. Four 11 and a half, 412. I think that's good enough. Gonna move over, come this way, and then we're gonna clean up the bottom is what I'm saying. I'm going to go against the back wall. It looks like I'm about 30 or 40 thousandths away from that line. I'll probably take a 20 thousandths cut, measure it, and take the rest of it. $553. That's 33 thousandths I need to take off of there. Let's do the other side. quick measurement. 554. 34 thousandths. Okay, I can do that. Take another quick measurement. It should be there. $520 on the button. I deburred this whole thing real good, and I put some 45-degree chamfers on here. Well, I just put it on the belt sander. I just wanted to get rid of that corner. I deburred this real good, stoned everything, got rid of the sharp corners, and what's next is I need to put this on the machine, on the lathe, put this on, and adjust these so it's grabbing that pin. It should have a downward force when I'm pushing those pins up, these fingers against the pins. And I need to get a measurement from the end of this to the cut that I made here. I purposely made this a little longer so I could trim it off and then get a dimension and trim the back so it fits on here perfectly. Well, not perfectly, but it'll fit on there a lot better. After I deburred it, you see this thing moves pretty easy. It don't wobble up and back, so there's probably 1,000th or 2 clearance, which is fine. But I was looking at this thing, and I tried to get my depth mic in there, and this handle's in the way. I have a smaller depth mic. This thing is super old. Patent date on it is January 11th, 1898. It's super accurate. But even this, being so small, I cannot get in here with this handle. So after I line this up and get it pushing down into the base, I'm going to have to take that handle off to get a dimension. Let's get over to the lathe and get that dimension. Clean it up a little bit. It feels good. This I can't put on backwards, but this I could. This is the hinge side. It hinges away from me, so. Again, what I got to do is bring these fingers up until the center of these fingers are both touching on the center of this pin. I take my loop and look at it real close. I wish you can see this. It looks like the center line of this pin is exactly in the center of this. Let me try to get a camera shot. don't know if you can see that very well, but I'd say that the center lines of those fingers are lined up pretty damn good. Well, I'm going to say it's good. I think that really looks close in there. The next thing I need to do is remove this handle. I need to take that little dog point set screw out of there. This is just a left-hand screw that it didn't disturb this. Now I can get my dimension. Let's do that. All right, I thought we'd use my little depth mic. Be easier to get in there. All right. There's lots of room. That wasn't hard. 16 thousandths. All right. Let's go over what I need to do. I need to remove 16 thousandths off the front of this. Where will that get me? I'll be able to take this part, get a measurement, and make my base the exact same length. Once that happens, I know that I could place this on here, center it on the base, and start coming up with dimensions to put my hole that goes all the way through, to get my bolt holes that go all the way through and tap into here. I need to make a little area here for the nut that helps bolt this thing down. What I thought I'd do is go over to the mill, start cutting all of this stuff to length, and I'll bring you back in my next video. So with this video coming to an end, I guess I'm going to have to say until next time, enjoy.